All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out today. Once again, it's going to be a slow flow, focusing more on the depth of the poses, not so much the speed, really allowing us to create that space by taking that hold. And we'll do 3 different flows. That first flow will take our time. We'll transition with the breath. And as we're holding, we're going to continue to breathe. And then the second time around, that second round, just moving a little bit more flow with it. Still mindful pace, always intentional with the movement, and just enjoying the incredible community that we have here. And speaking of the community, I'd love for everyone just to say hi to your neighbor, maybe give them a smile, a little wave. That's what it's about. This is Riverside Arts Market, just bringing everyone together because we rise together and supporting each other. So before we get started, I do want to know I'm representing here Bold City Yoga. We're in Springfield. And I teach on Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. So if you're not in that comfortable seated position yet, go ahead and make your way there. And that comfortable seat can be legs crossed. Perhaps the legs are out in front of you. Maybe you even take a lotus pose. And just begin to become more aware of the senses. You can take a closing of the eyes here, perhaps resting the palms on the knees. Just taking note of sounds, the sense, the feeling, what you see with the eyes closed, and the taste, the dropping of the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, and taking those nice deep full inhales all the way to the top, and then exhale, release it out. And on my cue, we'll go through a little breath work practice in which we'll inhale for 3, we'll hold for 3, we'll exhale for 3, and we'll inhale for 6, hold for 6, exhale for 6, and then inhale for 9, hold for 9, and exhale for 9. It's a nice grounding practice, the 3-part breath. And so let's all take one neutral grounding breath together, full inhale, all the way to the top, and then exhale, release. Starting with that inhale for 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, and then exhale, 2, 3. On that next inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then exhale, release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale our deepest one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holding here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just easing yourself back into a neutral breath here. The breath is the brilliance of the body. You feel stressed, you feel the mind is running. Always come back to the breath and find that center. So now we'll all take our empowerment card and we'll just go ahead and place it in our right hand, in the palm of our hand. And then we'll take that and place it just over heart center, and then take the left hand and place it over the right. I don't know what your empowerment card says. I don't know what you're currently facing or maybe the thoughts going through, but know that there's a reason you picked the car that you did. And so I want you to visualize what that reason is for you. And once you feel you've connected with that reason, and find an intention throughout the journey, and not just for the journey on the mat today, but intention that will lead you off the mat. And then we'll slowly begin to release from the center of the chest, and just place that empowerment card at the front of our mats. So when we're always looking forward, we always have that empowerment to look forward to. And we'll start with a gentle warm up now. So bringing the hands onto those knees, we'll just find some hip circles, moving with the breath. So as you inhale, you come forward, and as you exhale, you come back. Nice mindful movement here, warming up that lower spine. And once you've completed that last full circle, go ahead and take those circles in the other direction. Just moving like a wave, fluid, releasing tension. Just as the body moves, the thoughts inside us move and they flow. Just completing one full more deep circle here and coming back to center. And we'll find our circle of joy here. So we'll clasp the hands and rest the chin just underneath on the knuckles, and the knuckles pressing against the chin. And then with that inhale, we're going to rise those elbows up, bringing them above the shoulders if we can. Again, you can keep the eyes closed here if you'd like, or you can open. Then with the exhale, we're going to press the palms out. We're going to tuck that chin and allow the head to rest in between the arms. And then on that inhale, we're going to rise up high and take the gaze up towards the hands. Nice warming up of the neck as well here. And then with the exhale, we're going to bring those hands out to the side and allow them to clasp behind the back. With the hands clasped behind the back, we're going to inhale and press that chest forward and shoulders back, always looking forward in life. And then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. So now we familiarize the body with the movement, so we'll go through it one more time now. So bringing the chin on the knuckles, inhale, lift those elbows high. And then exhale, press it out, tuck the chin around that spine. And then inhale, rise and lift. Take the gaze up. And exhale, hands clasped behind the back. Inhale, chest forward, shoulders back. And then exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. We'll go through some seated sun salutations now. So we'll inhale, we'll shoot those arms up high. Maybe we'll take the gaze up with it. And then we'll exhale, arms out to the side, and then bringing them back to heart center. Warming up of the shoulders and upper body here. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. And then exhale, hands out, back to the side, and then back to center. We'll take those arms up high one more time. We'll inhale, and then exhale, forward fold in this seated position. Now, it doesn't have to be a crazy fold. Just go to that point of growth, never to that point of discomfort. If you feel pain or anything sharp shooting throughout the body, ease on out of it, but just melt into this fold. be present here with the breath. And keeping the hands planted, maybe we slide them in just a little bit and we'll move into our tabletop. So you can just shift the hips forward or you can swing the legs out to the side, however you'd like to get into that tabletop position. And from this tabletop here, we'll just find our cat-cow. So inhaling, lifting the chin, lifting the tail, and dropping the belly. And then exhale, come back, round that spine into our cat. One more here. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. We'll have the toes touching, spread those knees wide, and drop it down into your child's pose. So hips are gonna come down towards those heels, the forehead rests on the mat, arms out long. Just coming back to you're complete. Everything you need, you are where you should be. And this version of you is the best version of you. And I empower you to find that fire within. The next inhale, we're going to come back up into that neutral tabletop. We'll tuck the toes behind us. Take a deep inhale. Fill all the way up. And then with the exhale, press back into that downward facing dog. So with this downward facing dog, the palms are planted, arms are long, and the gaze is going past those knees. Tail is lifting high here. Doing our best to drive those heels, making a nice V shape with the body. On that next inhale, we're going to come onto the tippy toes of that right foot. So we're going to be a bend in that right knee. And trying to drive that left heel down to the mat. This is just a nice way to stretch out the calf here on that left side. And then with the exhale, we'll drop that right heel down and then inhale, lift the left heel coming onto the tippy toes of that left foot. And we'll drop it down with the exhale. On the inhale, we'll come up onto both tippy toes down, maybe shifting that weight forward a little bit. And then exhale, come back down into that downward facing dog. With the hands firmly planted here, we're going to inhale our way forward into that high plank. You can always drop the knees here if you'd like. You have that option. Do your best to hold wherever you are. And then mindfully begin to lower the chest all the way down to the mat.
So at this point, I lay my chest on the mic so the audio cuts out. But you'll go ahead and release the feet behind you. You'll keep the hands by the chest. And then with the inhale, rise up into your baby cobra, keeping the elbows close, flexing through the spine. And you should be able to lift the palms off the mat here, using the spine to lift the chest, and then with the exhale, you bring it back down into that prone position. And now inhale, rise up to King Cobra.
So the difference with King Cobra being that those arms are extended, face of the elbows are pointing forward. And exhale.
And once again, audio cuts out, but you just want to go ahead and drop it back down into your prone position and go into either baby cobra, king cobra, or up dog.
Any three of these variations, the difference with up dog and king cobra is that the thighs are off the mat. The only 2 points of contact are the palms and the tops of the feet. And then wherever you are, you're gonna exhale and tuck those toes and come back into that downward facing dog. Once again, a nice strong foundation here, gazing past those knees. We'll inhale back onto both of those tippy toes, heels come high. And then with the exhale, we'll bend the knees, gaze towards that empowerment card, and either walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat into that lovely forward fold. Just release here, take as deep of a bend as you may need in those knees. You can take a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows, and just allow the head to hang heavy. Look past those knees, perhaps maybe even a swaying side to side. Using gravity here to work with us rather than against us. Just flowing freely here. Wherever you are, we'll release those hands back down, either towards the shins, ankles, feet, or mat. And we'll inhale, we'll take a halfway lift, flattening that spine. Nice long back, pressing into those hips. Again, very deep mindful movement throughout the practice. And then exhale, release back into that forward fold. On the next inhale, we're gonna circle sweep those arms high overhead. Our tall mountain. We can take the gaze up towards those hands. And then exhale, come back to center. Nice sun salutation A. We'll do one more round of that. Just get the body fully warmed up for the flow. So inhale, we'll shoot those arms up. Exhale, you can swan dive down to the ground. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Flattening that spine, exhale, plant those hands, step it back, begin to lower down. You can drop the knees if you'd like. Any of those three variations that we went through, either up dog or king cobra. And then with the exhale, tuck the toes and come back into that downward facing dog. From here, we'll take 2 deep mindful breaths. Inhale, filling all the way up. And then exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. On that next inhale, we'll lift the heels high off the mat, coming onto the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze towards that empowerment card, and come forward into that forward fold. From that forward fold, we'll inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, drop down. Let it all go, let it flow. Inhale, circle sweep arms high overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do a little side body opening and stretch here. So bringing the feet together. We'll shoot those arms up high overhead. We'll take a pistol grip, so we'll clasp those first, the pinky, ring, and middle, and then we'll shoot that index finger high. And you can cross the thumbs here if you'd like. Take a deep inhale, really stretch out, nice full body, feel that opening. And then with the exhale, bend into that right side body. You have the option, you can keep the grip, or if you'd like, you can drop that right hand and just reach with the top hand. This is great for the lats, the obliques, the entire upper body. And then inhale, come back to center. And from here, we'll work into a revolved chair. So with the exhale, we'll take that left elbow and come onto the outside of that right knee. Now with the chair, we have a tendency of sometimes maybe allowing that shoulder to dip or that chest to dip. Just really press nice and long throughout the spine. Take a look, see if you can see those toes. Make sure those knees are even. You can take any chair variation here. Maybe you open up those arms. You can take flight, and that's in your practice. You're more than welcome to here. Just being mindful of the shape and the way it feels. And then with the inhale, we're going to rise back up into that tall mountain, bring the arms up overhead, taking that pistol grip, and then with the exhale, we'll bend into that left side body. Option to drop that left hand and just keep that right arm high. And with the inhale, coming back to center, and then taking that revolved chair with the exhale off to the left side, so right elbow goes on the outside of that left knee. And any variations are available for you here. Open arms, side crow. Focus on the breathing, focus on the depth of the pose. Feel the space that it creates. Inhale, come back up into that tall mountain. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe shake out those thighs a little bit. I know chair can work up some heat in that lower body. So we're gonna do one more round of that. So inhale, shoot it up. And then with the exhale, bend into that right side body. We familiarize the body with the movement. And now, we find that flow. Inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, take that revolved chair over to the right side. On that next inhale, come back into that tall mountain, arms rise high. And then exhale off to the left side this time, into that crescent moon. And then on the inhale, come back to center and take a revolved chair to the left side this time. Such a simple flow, but such a great opening throughout that entire side body. Inhale, come back to center, rising up high into that tall mountain. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Now this is a good point in the journey, maybe to grab some water if you'd like. We've already done 2 flows. We got one more warrior dance that we're gonna be doing, and then we'll do some balancing work. So if you need some water, need a towel off, this is a good opportunity here. I'm definitely going for it. And once we've all grabbed our water, toweled off, we'll come to the top of the mat. We'll bring the hands to heart center. We'll inhale, shoot them up. And exhale, swan dive down to the mat. We're just gonna work our way to that downward dog. We'll inhale, we'll take a halfway lift from here. And then with the exhale, you can either go straight back into your down dog, or you can go through your Vinyasa flow. If you're going through Vinyasa flow, lower the chest halfway all the way, and then inhale, chest high, up dog, king cobra. And then exhale, down dog. Now from this downward facing dog, we're gonna move into a 3-legged dog. So inhale that right leg high into the sky. We wanna make sure that the hips are even here. The toes are pointing down towards the mat. That foot is flexed, rising through that heel, feeling this engagement throughout the glute and the hamstring. And then with that exhale, we're gonna bend that right knee over that left leg. Now, if the body is seeking stillness here, stay here. If you want a little more fluidity, take some hip circles, move them in one direction, take 3 in one direction, and then switch those circles over to the other side. And once you've done all 3, go ahead and bring it back into that 3-legged dog. The foot flex pointing down towards the mat. We'll exhale that knee forward, gaze forward, and step it forward, having the foot framed by the hands. We'll inhale to rise up either into a high lunge, or if you'd like, you could also take a kneeling lunge. Any of these 2 variations are available for you here. Chin is tucked, doing our best to suck that belly in. Nice strong foundation in that front foot, bend in that front knee. With the exhale, we're gonna take angel arms here, so nice 90-degree bend, opening up the heart, that center of love, allowing us to be able to accept love by opening up. And then inhale, rise back up into that high lunge or kneeling lunge. With the exhale, we're gonna plant that back heel, bring that right arm forward, left arm back. Our warrior two. So starting with the feet, let's take a look at, make sure that heel, that front heel is driving into the arch of that back foot. Nice bend in that front knee. Back leg is long. Arms are wide and the shoulder blades are pressing. Gaze over that middle fingertip. We'll inhale, we'll reach forward slightly and then swing it back into our peaceful warrior. Rising out from the root of that spine, nice long extension here throughout the entire upper body. And then with the exhale, we're gonna windmill everything to frame that front foot. And then with the inhale, we'll step it back into that high plank. You can take a single leg vinyasa here, or you can just go back straight into your downward facing dog. Any of the two options are available for you here, or I guess three options. And we'll do the same thing on the other side now. So right foot is planted, left leg goes high into the sky, hips are squared. Foot is flexed so it's pointing down towards the mat. And then with the exhale, we can open up that hip by taking the left leg over that long right leg. See how deep you can go here. You can seek that stillness, or you can find some fluidity and some movement by taking those hip circles, 3 in each direction. This is a very fire-building sequence here. You're going to experience some heat. It's all good stuff. It's the body growing, the mind growing, and that spirit shining bright. And once you've completed all 3 rounds, we'll take it back into that 3-legged dog. And then exhale, bend the knee forward, gaze forward, step forward, setting yourself up for that high lunge or a kneeling lunge. Rising up with the inhale, back heel is lifted, gaze forward, chin is tucked, sucking that belly in, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, and with the exhale, angel arms. Opening up the chest, the shoulders, and then inhale, rising up, lifting out. With that exhale, we're gonna plant that back heel, take that left arm forward, right arm back. Looking at our foundation, taking a look at those feet. Nice, solid foot, front foot. Back foot is facing the long edge of the mat. Feeling the space that we create with the depth of the shape. Open up by taking that inhale, flip the palm, and then swing it back into a peaceful warrior. Now that right arm can either reach down towards the calf or the knee. Maybe you take a bind if you'd like. And then with the exhale, we're gonna windmill everything to frame that front foot. Once it's framed, we're gonna take that inhale, step it back. Again, you can go back into your downward facing dog or go through Vinyasa. Listen to the body and make this your journey. Now we familiarize the body with the movement, so we're gonna do the same thing. Inhale, right leg high. Option for stillness or hip circles here by taking that right leg over the long left leg. 3 in each direction. Know that at any point, if you need a break, you can always drop it down into child's pose. And once you've completed all 3, take that leg long with the inhale and then bring it forward with the exhale. And rising up into that higher kneeling lunge. With the exhale, take those angel arms, open up the chest, and then inhale, rise it back up high. Open it up, warrior two. Shape of power, courage, empowerment. Put the palm with that inhale, swing it back into that peaceful warrior. Lengthen here. We use the inhale to lengthen and the exhale to deepen that knee. Continue to breathe in on that next exhale. Windmill everything to go through your Vinyasa flow or back to down dog. Now we transition over to the other side. Inhale, left leg goes high. Heel is lifted, toes are pointed towards the ground, and then open up the hip by bending the knee and taking the hip circles here. 3 rounds on each side, and once you've completed all 3, swing it back into that legged dog. Find your flow. Rising up with that inhale. And then exhale. Angel arms. That slow, mindful movement can be so deep, so empowering. Inhale, rising up, lifting. And then exhale, open up, warrior two. Gaze over the middle finger. Flip the palm and swing it back with that inhale, peaceful warrior. Feeling that energy flowing, exhale, frame that front foot. Take it back to Vinyasa flow with the exhale or down dog. Now from this downward facing dog, we'll go ahead and inhale, lift those heels high. And with the exhale, we'll bend the knees, gaze forward, step or walk or hop to the front of that mat into that forward fold. Stick around in this forward fold. We're going to do a twisted forward fold. So starting with the right side, we're going to take a bend in that left knee. We're going to keep that left hand either on the shin, ankle, or down on the mat. And then we'll peel open that right arm, keeping that right leg extended, and a deep bend in that left knee. A wonderful chest opener, wonderful way to open up the neck as well. And then exhale, we'll come back down into that forward fold. And transition to the other side now. So we'll bend in that right knee, left leg is long, and then inhale, peel open that left arm. Continuing to breathe in the holds, using the breath as the guide for the journey, and then exhale, bring it back down into that forward fold. I'm going to do it one more time on both sides. Bend in that left knee, inhale, right arm goes high, right leg is long. And then exhale, come down, other side, inhale, left leg goes long, left arm goes long, and bend in that right knee. And exhale, come back down and release. Inhale, halfway lift here. And exhale, spill over. Inhale, circle sweep arms overhead, tall mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Just take 2 rounds of breaths here. Inhale, fill up. Maybe closing of the eyes. And then exhale, hold, release and exhale and let it all go. Holding at the bottom. We'll inhale and fill it all up back again. Holding at the top. And then exhale, let it go and release. Just taking that gentle pause at the bottom before we come back to that neutral breath. Those little pauses that we take at the top and the bottom, just a reminder for ourselves that, it's okay to take that little pause in life. So now we'll work on some balancing shapes, poses. So coming to the tops of our mats, we'll shift the weight into that left leg, find a bend in that right knee, and we'll just move into our tree pose. So the sole of that right foot can either go on the ankle, calf, or that inner left thigh. If you have an Ashtanga tree, you can go into that. And once you've found that balancing point, again, find that one focal point that you can just direct all your attention and focus to. Begin to grow those branches, keeping that core tight, pressing the sole of the foot against the calf or ankle or thigh, with the ankle, thigh, or calf pressing against the sole of the foot. That counter pressure is what allows us to create balance. And then exhale, bring the hands back to center. We'll release the knee from wherever it is, or the foot from wherever it is, and take a bend in that right knee. And we'll take the hands to the hips, and we'll kick out that right leg and swing it behind us to set ourselves up for pyramid. So we want feet on railroad tracks, just about 2 to 3 feet apart. The hands can be at the hips here, or you can take namaste arms by grabbing the forearms behind the back, or maybe even go for a prayer behind the back. But wherever you are, create space, lift out of it, rise out of the crown of the head, and then with the exhale, begin to hinge at those hips, coming down, and once you reach that halfway point, release the hands if they're on your hips. If they're in namaste arms, you can keep them there. If you release the hands, you can either work into that shin or frame that foot, and then let go of the tension in the neck. So just allow the gaze to go past that right knee. You can keep a slight micro bend in that front foot, the front leg. Continuing to be mindful of that breathing here. On that next inhale, we'll walk those hands forward, take the gaze forward towards the middle of those hands, and then with the exhale, we're going to press it off into our standing split. So just doesn't have to be anything crazy, even just a light lift off the mat is fine, but if you can, see how high you can drive that right heel into the sky. You would point the toes back towards you and take the chest towards the thighs, the nose driving towards the knee, and the crown of head reaching for the toes beneath us. And then with the exhale, we're going to mindfully drop that right foot to come into our low lunge. So framing that front foot, that right foot is going to drop back a little bit further back than when we were in pyramid. We're going to keep that right hand planted just beside that left foot, and then inhale, left arm goes high into our twisted lunge. With the exhale, we'll come back down to frame that front foot. Inhale, we'll go into our cat or cow lunge. So chest is going to rise and lift. And then exhale, take it into our cat lunge. So straightening that left leg as best as we can. And then we'll inhale, come back into that neutral lunge. And with the exhale, we're going to press off that right foot and come into that forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep arms high overhead. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Same sequence on the other side now. So weight in that right foot and finding tree with the left sole of the foot going into the ankle, into the calf, or up into that inner thigh. You can use the hand to kind of pull it up there. And once you've found your focal point, Engage the core. You can grow those branches, those arms out wide. Grow that tree. Just swaying with the weight, the winds. Maybe you challenge yourself by closing the eyes here. See if you can find that inner balance. And then we'll bring the hands back to heart center. We'll release the leg, take a bend in that knee, take the hands to the hips, kick out that left leg as high as we can, and then swing it through, set ourselves up for pyramid. And hands at hips, namaste arms, or prayer. Find space, lengthen with the inhale. And then exhale, hinge. Hands are at the hips, halfway point release. And then frame that foot coming into that pyramid with the feet on railroad tracks. And just allow the gaze to go past that left knee. Head is heavy, chest is heavy. That entire upper body is just bringing you deeper into the fold of the pyramid. We'll inhale and take the gaze forward, begin to walk those forward. And then with the exhale, we're going to press off that left foot, taking it into that standing half split, 3-point balance, whatever we call it, just make it yours. And doing our best to lift that left heel as high as we can, using our hands as a way to drive that chest into the thigh and the nose to knee, and then pulling the crown towards the toes, feeling this throughout that right hamstring. With the exhale, we'll mindfully begin to drop down into that low lunge, so a little bit further away than as we had it with our pyramid. Plant on the mat just beside that right foot, and then inhale, rise up with that right arm high into that twisted low lunge. With the exhale, we'll come back down to frame that front foot, and we'll move it into our cow lunge. So inhale, take that chest forward, gaze goes high. And then with the exhale, we'll come back into that cat lunge. So straightening that left leg, doing our best to drive the heel of that right foot back down. And then we'll come back to neutral. And then exhale, step it through into that forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale, spill over. Let it go. Inhale, circle sweep arms high overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll work our way onto the ground to do some groundwork. So to get there, we can find our malasana squat, so yogi squat. So take those feet as wide as the mat, point those toes out. We'll find space with that inhale, and then with the exhale, we'll begin to settle ourselves into those hips. Maybe you just come to a nice squat position. Perhaps you can settle in all the way into those hips. Just going to that point of growth. Holding here, engaging here, staying tight throughout that entire body. And then we'll drop ourselves down onto our mats. Use the hands there to support us. We'll take the legs out long. We'll find our staff pose. So we'll just take the flesh away from the sit bones. Just kind of work the glutes out to the side to create some space here. Feet are flexed so the toes are pointing up high into the sky. And then we'll take those arms up overhead. And then exhale. Fold over, reaching either for the shins, ankles, maybe for the toes if you can go for them. stay mindful of the breath. I heard this quote the other day that really just stuck with me, and I'd love to share it as an offering for everyone here today. Is that faith and fear, they're both constructs of the mind, and nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. We're living in very uncertain times now, but both fear and faith are created in your imagination. And the only difference is that fear is your imagination undirected. It's like weeds. It just grows automatically. But faith is like a beautiful garden. It takes effort, it takes work. You have to believe in it. And trusting that life is happening for you, not to you. And so if you just keep flowing, and you just keep going, the right doors will open regardless of what's happening around you. From this fold, inhale, come back up. Spine nice and long. And we'll move into our half butterfly or Janu Shirshasana, starting with that right leg in and left leg is long. So the right sole of the foot can go on the inside. We'll inhale, take those arms high. And exhale, release into the fold, into that left side. From this fold, we'll inhale and lift out of it. Take the arms back up. And then with the exhale, we'll take a Janu twist. So taking the left hand on the outside of that right knee and then planting the right hand just beneath the hip. It's using it as a tripod to keep that spine nice and long and the gaze over that right shoulder. We don't need magic to just transform our world. It's all about the empowerment that we carry inside of us. That's the magic. Inhale, come back to center. Arms lengthen nice and long. And exhale, bring them to heart center, and then release the leg. You can take the arms out to the side if you'd like, and just transition to the other side now. So right leg is long, left foot is in. We'll rotate the torso so it's facing that long leg. Rise up with that inhale, being mindful with that exhale as we fold towards that long leg. From here, we'll inhale out of the folds. And find that Janu twist. So twisting over to the outside. Right hand comes on the outside of that left knee, planting that left hand just beneath the hip. Nice long spine and the gaze over that shoulder. Use the breath here to deepen the shape. Inhale, maybe you lift that spine nice and long, and then with the exhale, you press into that right hand, the gaze goes even further over that shoulder. Everything in life flows. Your thoughts, challenges that you face, the opportunities that you may achieve. It all flows. But one thing that always remains constant is that fire of empowerment from within. Only you can control that fire. No one can put it out. So ignite that light. Inhale, lift up, rise up, and then exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll work our way into our bound angle. So soles of the feet pressed together. Doing our best to drive those knees out to the side. You can clasp the feet, find length and space with that inhale, and then with the exhale, fold as deep as you'd like. Just releasing all that tension and trauma that we hold in our hips. And on that next inhale, slowly begin to rise out of the fold. We'll take those legs long and just drop ourselves onto our backs, releasing with ease. Maybe you take a bend in the knees and just grab for the back of the hamstrings as you work your way down. However you need to get yourself comfortably onto your backs. We'll hug those knees in. Allow the knees to stack over the hips. And then with that exhale, we'll take the knees out to the right side, dropping them over left fingertips. Our supine spinal twist. And then inhale, come back to center, mindfully, gracefully, and with ease. Just allow those knees to drop over to the left side. And the gaze going over those right fingertips. Beginning to slow down and release the heat that we built. Simply finding that peace. We'll inhale, come back up, down to center. And from here, we'll take our waterfall. So, hands just below the tail to rest on those hands beneath. You can go into any other inversion variation here. You can keep the stillness of this waterfall, or maybe you can take some very gentle, mindful movement with circles of those ankles, maybe a pointing inflection of the feet. Simply listen to the body. The body can't speak to us in words and phrases like we do to each other. The body speaks to us in pain and tension, and it's through being intentional and mindful and listening that we can heal the body and the mind and empower that best version of ourselves. And wherever you are, everything long into that shavasana, deep relaxation. Finding the breath slowing down here. Feeling every ounce of ourselves melting away into our place of peace. Will gently begin to bring the awareness back to our senses, starting with some gentle movement, the hands and fingertips, maybe massaging of the fingertips with the thumbs. Maybe some gentle movement within the feet. And when you're ready, taking a deep inhale, stretching those arms out long, a full awakening, a full morning stretch from fingertips to toes. And then we'll roll over into our fetal position on the right side. So right arm is a nice place of comfort, of gratitude. And then at your own pace, when you're ready, come up into that seated position. And just as we started the journey with our empowerment card, we'll go ahead and grab it and place it into our right palm of our hand and take it over the heart and place the left hand over that right hand. Know that we all make mistakes, we all have struggles, And maybe we even have some regrets in our past. But you are not your mistakes. You are not your struggles. And you are here now to be able to empower, shape your day and your future. And so now we'll take the hands to heart center, bringing into that prayer position. Just wishing everyone peace in your mind, love in your heart, and joy in your soul. Namaste. Just want to give a big thank you to everyone who joined here today. And I want to give a very, very big and special thank you to Mama Esther in the front. Give a nice wave, Mama Esther. She is the definition of empowerment. Faced so many challenges, and so many just times and moments in life where it could have been easy to give up. Raising me as a single mom, an abusive partner, and just so many health challenges along the way. And so some of you know my story, and but it's this woman's story that inspires me every single day. So thank you all for joining. I teach at Bold City Yoga. I'm there every Tuesday at 6:15 or 7:15. It's a Vinyasa yin, and yeah, there is a shared use path ceremony going on today. It's finally open, so definitely encourage you all to give it a visit. Check out all the local vendors here, the good food, the good artists, the farmers, and a couple just other things. I am hosting a retreat in Croatia. I'm originally from there. It's a sail away retreat. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. Otherwise, you can follow me on E the Yogi. I post various events and things that I do locally. And yeah, I'm grateful to have shared this space with you. And also, one other big shout out, Women's Wellness Fest, hosted by Karen Woods, April 22nd. Go ahead and chat with her if you're interested. It's a ton of fun. I'll be out there. I'll be capturing some videos and getting to share that space with everyone. So yes, thank you everyone for coming out, and wishing you all a wonderful journey. Peace.